Here are my thoughts on the new Sons of Apollo album. Does it measure up to the debut? Come back and let's find out. I have to be upfront and honest with you. As much as I love Mike Portnoy and the bands he's part of, Sons of Apollo's first album and the live DVD didn't really do much for me from a musical standpoint. This new album doesn't either, unfortunately. The musicianship, of course, is top-notch, which is the only to be expected given the members of the band. The album starts off with Goodbye Divinity and the heavy riffs of John Bumblefoot Thal and the signature playing of Portnoy, who is immediately recognizable to anyone who has spent any time listening to him and his many bands. This melds into some of the truly nasty, heavier riffs which get things off to a good start before the vocals of Jeff Scott Soto begin. He has a lower register voice than a lot of prog metal bands, and he clearly is impassioned with his lyrics and singing. But I think his voice is more suited for live performances than the studio works. The song is solidly anchored by Billy Sheehan's bass work. The latter half of this 7-minute track is full of the keyboard work of Derek Shrunian, who, while technically skilled, creates parts as dull as when he first joined Portnoy in Falling into Infinity some 22 years ago. The majority of the songs are shorter in nature and start with large, heavy riffs, which is well and good, but doesn't get a ton of variety to them. And this is why I feel it's a very straightforward metal album with flashes of progressive influences. The great playing, of course, but nothing we have never heard before. To break things up on the album, Desolate July starts off with bells and quiet piano. This happens to be the most emotionally stirring song on the album, and for many reasons, I think this is Scott Soto's best vocal work as well. The song deals with the death of someone and those who were left behind. It seems to me that this is maybe through suicide, but it's unclear. It also has one of Shrunian's most interesting and very effective key passages towards the end of the song. And of course, the drums are subtle or thunderous when appropriate. The final track I'll mention is the 16-minute closer, New World Today. I love good mini epics and songs that give the band room to stretch a bit. It's one of the better songs on the album, particularly the instrumental sections. However, it also sums up everything about this album that I don't like. From the first listen to the last, I think to myself often that this sounds more like leftovers from Falling into Infinity, but with a different vocalist. Regardless, like to the rest of the album, the playing is still stellar and the band is tight, and this song will undoubtedly be a live highlight. With the release of MMXX, or 2020, Sons of Apollo have delivered perhaps a heavier follow-up to their debut, but one that doesn't do anything that the first one didn't. While the technical skill of all involved cannot be denied, it remains a musically safe album, and likely won't sway away from anyone who did enjoy the first one. For the current fans, you'll probably love it. For everyone else, I suggest listening to the singles that came out and decide from there. If you like big rock arena played with skill, this is definitely an album for you. Check it out. If you're really into progressive or very technical stuff, you might be a little bit disappointed. Overall, I'm going to give this album a rating of 68%. Thanks, guys. Right now I want to share the physical version. This time I have the CD of the album. There's the front. There's the back. There, of course, is the inlay picture. And the CD. I'll show you the book. Some credits and lyrics. More lyrics. More lyrics. Picture of Mr. Portnoy. Picture of Mr. Sheridan. Picture of Mr. Thal. Picture of Mr. Scott. Or sorry, Scott Soto, sorry. And of course, finally, Billy Sheehan. There's the back. Thanks for your time, guys. Catch yourself on the next review. Bye-bye.